Draft night was set for Will Levis to be a first-round pick, possibly even top 5. But what really happened to this Kentucky quarterback? The story is far more complicated than the hype suggested. Will Levis entered the draft as a tantalizing prospect. Scouts raved about his raw tools, a cannon for an arm, impressive size, and athleticism. Yet his college tape was a mixed bag, sometimes brilliant, sometimes confusing. Despite this, he was considered one of the few quarterbacks worth risking the team's future on. But when the picks started falling, Will's name wasn't called as expected. What followed was a surprising draft slide that left many puzzled and fans wondering if the hype was just that. Hype. His journey from that moment on would expose the brutal realities young quarterbacks face in the modern NFL, where potential alone doesn't guarantee success, and patience is a scarce commodity. The draft night expectations. Will Levis entered the draft as a tantalizing prospect. Scouts raved about his raw tools, a cannon for an arm, impressive size, and athleticism. Yet his college tape was a mixed bag, sometimes brilliant, sometimes confusing. Despite this, he was considered one of the few quarterbacks worth risking a team's future on. Many mocks had him going in the first round, some even placing him in the top 5. His physical gifts were undeniable: 6 feet 4 inches, 230 pounds, capable of throwing the ball 70 yards flat-foot. Teams saw a bright, athletic quarterback with the potential to move and make plays, reminiscent of an Andrew Luck type. But there was a paradox. The tools were there, but his inconsistency in college made teams wary. Still, it was thought the risk was worth it for a possible franchise quarterback. However, the atmosphere around Levis on draft night was tense because scouts and GMs had vastly different opinions. Some touted his upside, while others were sharply critical of his decision-making and mechanics. That uncertainty created a mystery that hovered over draft rooms as the countdown to selection ticked on. Was he ready for the big leap? Or was he too raw, too unpolished? The answer seemed just out of reach, making his eventual draft position one of the most intriguing subjects of the night. The unexpected draft slide. Contrary to many mock drafts, Will wasn't picked in the first round, not even in the top 30. His name waited until pick 33 when the Tennessee Titans finally called it. Behind the scenes, the Colts had reportedly locked in on him, but the Titans quietly swooped in to take a calculated gamble on Levis as a franchise quarterback. This drop shocked many football fans and analysts alike. Scouts who praised his cannon arm and physicality couldn't deny the messiness of his tape, yet nobody anticipated him falling this far. It was a moment filled with tension as a 23-year-old watched his dreams drift farther and farther away. The decision weighed heavily on the Titans' front office, but revealed a deeper NFL trend. Quarterbacks with raw talent but inconsistent college performance often slide in the draft. Teams hesitate, fearing risk, but the Titans saw potential worth betting on. This selection opened the door to what would become a roller coaster ride for Levis, a gamble on upside over polish that defined his early career. The rookie debut spark. Levis's rookie season was an unpredictable roller coaster. When Ryan Tannehill went down injured, Will stepped up with a bang, throwing 4 touchdown passes in his NFL debut and handing fans a burst of hope. His arm talent was undeniable, and for a moment, it looked like the Titans had found their guy. He looked confident, playing with a poise that belied his inexperience. The offense came alive around him, and suddenly, the long-suffering Titans fans had a reason to believe again. This wasn't just another project quarterback. This was the real deal, or so it seemed. But beneath the surface, the question remained, could he sustain this level of play? The debut was more than a performance. It was a statement, and what happened next would test everything the Titans hoped for. Year 2 reality check. But year 2 brought harsh truths. The shine started fading quickly. Offensive line issues, inconsistent receivers, and Levis's unraveling mechanics led to erratic play. The once promising signal callers struggled with decision-making, took bad sacks, and the confidence everyone believed in began to erode fast. Levis missed open receivers, held the ball too long, and made late throws that cost his team dearly. It was clear that beneath the arm talent, there were cracks forming in his game. The Titans, plagued by inconsistency, lost 8 of their first 11 games, and Levis's erratic play was a big part of the struggle. Injuries piled up, and Levis played hurt, showing he wasn't right physically or mentally. By week 16, the writing was on the wall. The Titans made the tough call to bench him in favor of Mason Rudolph, signaling an abrupt end to the experiment. Fans and analysts debated whether this was just a rough patch or a sign of lasting trouble. The once bright hope had dimmed, and year 2 delivered a sobering reality check for Will Levis, the Tennessee Titans, and their fans. The bench and the end of the experiment. By week 16, the Titans made a move many expected. Will Levis was benched in favor of Mason Rudolph. The decision reflected a broader NFL trend. Young quarterbacks are given little time to grow. Despite flashes of potential, Levis's stint as a starter ended abruptly, leaving many to wonder if his NFL journey was over before it truly began. The Titans' experiment with Levis was over, and it happened faster than anyone anticipated. Fans had seen glimpses of what he could do, but inconsistency and pressure exposes flaws. In today's NFL, patience is a rare commodity, and unfortunately for Levis, his struggles could not be overlooked. The team decided to move on, bringing in a new quarterback and signaling a fresh start. For Will Levis, the bench wasn't just a simple change of role, it was a stark declaration that the franchise was ready to look elsewhere. His time as the face of the Titans' offense had ended prematurely, and his status now shifted to that of a backup or potential camp arm. It was a harsh reality, especially considering his physical gifts and the promise he once held. But the NFL has little tolerance for growing pains at the quarterback position. This move illustrated how quickly a young quarterback's trajectory can change. One moment you're the hopeful franchise cornerstone. The next, you're watching from the sidelines, your potential in question, and your future uncertain. The larger NFL quarterback problem. Will Levis's story isn't isolated. Today's NFL expects instant greatness from rookie quarterbacks with little patience for mistakes. Legends like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were given time to develop, something increasingly rare now. Will Levis embodies the growing problem. The demand for immediate results leaves many talented players discarded too soon. Quarterbacks today are drafted into chaos and expected to be great immediately. No time to learn, no room for mistakes. If you're not elite by year 2, you're expendable, and that pressure can be crushing. Just look at a list. Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Sam Darnold, Justin Fields. The pattern is clear. Teams draft high and pull the plug faster than ever. Contrast that with Peyton Manning's rookie year. 28 interceptions, a 3-13 team record, no playoffs. Today, Manning might have been labeled a bust before he had time to grow. Or Tom Brady, winless in his rookie year, throwing more picks than touchdowns. These legends are the exceptions, not the rule. The NFL's rush to judgment leaves many quarterbacks without a true chance to develop, creating a revolving door of hopes and disappointments. Will Levis lives in this high-pressure world where potential is measured only by immediate performance. The unforgiving nature of the league puts him at a crossroads. Succeed now or be cast aside. This isn't just about one player, but a systemic issue that impacts the future of the sport and how young quarterbacks are groomed or discarded in a league that demands perfection at an impossible pace. Is there still hope? At just 25, with elite size and arm strength, Levis still has untapped potential, but the road ahead for him won't be easy. The NFL has grown increasingly impatient with young quarterbacks, demanding instant results and punishing early mistakes harshly. Yet football history shows us that development takes time. Players like Jared Goff, who faced early struggles, and Ryan Tannehill, who blossomed after being written off, remind us that second chances can lead to success. Levis possesses the raw tools, a cannon of an arm, impressive athleticism, and the frame to withstand hits. But what will truly determine his fate is whether he can find the right environment and opportunity to grow and refine his game. The pressure and pace of the NFL often force premature judgments. Yet the question remains, Can Levis rise above the label of a disappointing first experiment and reinvent himself? With persistence, learning from setbacks, and perhaps a change of scenery, he might prove skeptics wrong. His journey is just beginning, and while the odds are steep, hope for a comeback never truly dies in football. Will Levis's rise and fall so far reveals a harsh NFL reality. Talent alone isn't enough without the right timing and opportunity. His journey isn't just about one QB, but shines a light on the league's unforgiving approach to developing young stars. Whether he can seize a second chance and defy the odds remains a gripping question for football fans everywhere. At just 25 years old, with enormous physical gifts and undeniable arm talent, Levis's potential hasn't disappeared. It's now about finding the right system, the right coaching, and the patience to grow. The NFL market is brutal, and once labeled a disappointment, opportunities dry fast, but history shows us players like Jared Goff, Ryan Tannehill, and Jenna Smith who overcame early setbacks to rewrite their stories. The door isn't closed for Levis yet. Despite being benched early in his career, the chance to reinvent himself still exists. In this fast-paced league, where instant success is demanded, his story will be a cautionary tale or a comeback legend, depending on what happens next. For now, Will Levis represents both the promise and the peril young quarterbacks face in today's NFL, and that perhaps is the most compelling narrative of all.